Hi, I'm Jared Whitman. I'm here with John Russell. This is the Pursuit of Being a Stand-Up Leader podcast, and we are breaking down John's book, Be a Stand-Up Leader, the ABCs of Getting the Job Done Right, chapter by chapter. This chapter, we're talking about employee recognition.
Interesting subject.
Very interesting.
I know as my career unfolded over the years, I worked with a lot of different managers. And some of them were good at employee recognition and some of them weren't.
I agree with that.
And I felt that it was such an important subject. I put a chapter about it in the book because as an employee, other than making money and helping your customers be happy, what else is there?
Taking care of your internal customers.
Yeah. And so, you and I talked about it. Number one, customer is the employee.
Yep.
And so, what's the one thing that employees want the most besides money?
To know they're doing a good job.
Yeah. To have somebody tell them
Yes.
that they're on the right track.
Yeah.
You're exceeding my expectations.
Yeah.
You are a tremendous asset and value to this company. I don't know what we'd do without you. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you being here.
Those are like 5 or 4 word sentences that are so easy to say,
Right.
if they're true, and I've never been told that.
So here's a different example. Let's just say you have an employee that's hasn't been with the company a long time. They're trying real hard.
Mm-hmm.
They're showing up for work every day. They have a positive attitude, but it's just not quite clicking.
Yeah.
They're not quite there yet. Every business has what I'll call the lower rung, the middle rung, and then the top producers. That's just how it works, 80-20 rule.
Yep.
But that one employee that's showing great promise but hasn't clicked over yet, what an opportunity to build up their self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
What a tremendous opportunity to show them that they're going to keep getting better.
Yep.
By recognizing their efforts.
Yep.
Not necessarily their production, but their attitude, their timeliness, their relationships with other people in the business. I mean, you can compliment somebody and recognize somebody for doing something besides being a top biller,
right,
or the number one in the country, or whatever the award level is. Because other than the person that's at the top, all these other employees are trying to climb the ladder. So,
I think it's super, I think it's really important for management to do that, but then also the owners of the company. Like it should be a hierarchy type of thing.
Not just your immediate boss.
Right. Yeah. That was one thing that I did as a manager, made sure that my people knew when they were doing a good job and what they were doing. That was really impressive and exceeding my expectations. And I would have to, on a continuous basis, go to the people on the leadership team and be like, hey, I need you to tell my guys that they are doing a good job and that you appreciate what they're doing.
Right.
I even fed them lines that they could say to help, boost their confidence, because I drove them pretty hard to make sure that we executed well.
Yeah.
And they did a hell of a job.
Yeah. So my experience with all the different managers I've had is that some of them understand what employees need to hear and want to hear, and some of them don't. Mm-hmm. And so my perspective is different bosses' styles create different kinds of recognition. Some people are only motivated by money.
There are people like that.
And they're only going to recognize you for your contributions to the bottom line.
Right.
There's other managers, other stand-up leaders that look at an employee and understand what's important to them because they've spent a little time with them to understand what their values, their dreams, and their vision is for their life, their career. And so when you go to recognize somebody or give recognition, maybe you want to tap into a little bit of that so that they understand that you're recognizing them for their contributions to the business, and it's attached to helping them achieve their goals.
That's a great.
It's a different way of thinking about it.
It goes back to what was that earlier chapter that we did?
There's a lot of.
But if you're having employee reviews,
Right.
and you're taking notes,
Right. Exactly.
Now you can revert back to those notes and incorporate those things all together. It's not like you have to memorize everything, but take a look at the employee's file and take a look at their notes.
Yeah. So in the book, I talked about my level of intrigue, which was generated, but how the different styles of the different people I worked for were brought through. Some people could shift my motivation through some recognition, and others were able to inspire me in a greater way by attaching that recognition to the purpose of why I was there.
Yeah.
Very difficult to comprehend for some stand-up leaders.
Well, it's very difficult to do for a lot of
But
business owners.
How easy can it be? I mean, unless you have a staff of hundreds or thousands.
Right.
So then you have to delegate it down to the chain so that each layer of management and each superior along the way gets coached and trained on how to be able to understand how to give recognition, and not in a generic fashion. One size doesn't fit all.
Correct. It's not cookie cutter.
A pat on the back is great, but let's get into some more detail.
The more you can be more personalized, going back to humanizing your brand as best as possible and really taking care of the employees, and letting them know. And then it starts at the top. Like the top people, the owners, the managers, they have to recognize the people below them,
right,
and let them know that they're doing a good job. And then yes, they have to be coached throughout the process to make sure that people know. One of the biggest things that I got in my last job was technicians would come over and be like, "Hey, you're doing a good job.
Right.
We're seeing it."
Isn't that nice?
I'm like, "Oh yeah, thank you so much. You're doing a good job." And they would reply, "Well, it's good to know someone
is taking care of it.
Someone thinks like that."
Yeah, I remember when I started a new client and I started doing the marketing, one of the partners just walked up to me one day and said, "I just want you to know I'm getting a lot of feedback from the public about the marketing that you're doing.
Perfect.
And I want to tell you how much it's working."
What a huge compliment.
Right, I think that's the only conversation I ever had with him.
Oh, that's unfortunate, but
he was basically saying, "You get it.
Yeah.
You're on the right track."
Yeah.
Over time, I realized and read a lot about the power of employee recognition. Employees who are recognized privately in the boss's office and recognized at weekly, quarterly, and annual sales conferences and annual meetings know their hard work and accomplishments are appreciated, and everyone is motivated a little differently.
Yeah.
It's right in the book.
I agree with that.
So it really takes some empathy for a leader to have enough understanding of the employee so that when they give them recognition, it's in alignment with what they're thinking as an employee.
Right.
It really makes a big difference. Everybody's motivated by different things. Money, time, vacation. A lot of companies give out prizes. A lot of people want more family time, so when you recognize somebody, what are you backing it up with?
Right.
I remember a couple of instances where I had done something well, and my boss came up to me and gave me a $100 gift certificate.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
And then I remember doing that for some of the people that work with me. It's life-changing. Because even though it doesn't sound like a lot of money, $100 bill in your pocket goes a long, long ways.
Yeah.
And they don't forget that.
For doing your job.
You want to
too.
generate positivity between employees
Yeah.
and strengthen loyalty inside the company that just makes the stand-up leader look like, wow, I'm so glad I work here.
Yeah.
These people here, they're all over understanding that I'm a valuable asset.
Yeah.
It's an amazing and powerful thing. Employee recognition doesn't get done enough.
No, I agree. It doesn't. And it's unfortunate.
So in a couple of instances in my life where I worked for fairly large clients, the employees weren't being recognized. So I did it.
Yes.
I did it.
It's like if you...
I'd pay attention to what was going on up and down the hallways, and I'd hear something good happen, and I'd walk in, and I'm going, wow, I just heard you did this, or I see you're really tracking well, or, oh my goodness, I can feel your energy and your enthusiasm. It's fantastic, and they look at you like, what?
Yeah.
And I just want to tell you, I could tell you really got game. Have a good day.
Yeah.
And they walk away, and I'm like, geez, nobody ever said that to me before.
Right. It doesn't have to come
Peer-to-peer recognition.
Yeah, that's
can be really
just as powerful too.
Right.
Just as powerful.
So stand-up leaders recognize employees consistently and in a variety of ways. And it should become just a natural thing.
Built into the
What do you
culture.
have to add to that?
You covered it pretty well. I think another way to recognize employees is by having like awards. Like I saw a company, home service company that had belts, like wrestling belts,
cool.
themed for them.
Right.
So it was like a traveling thing, kind of
Right.
like a badge of honor.
Right.
For that type of... So like
It's recognition.
making it a little fun.
Yeah.
And making it almost a competition to exceed customers' expectations.
Right.
And then being rewarded for that.
So my advice is at the beginning of the year, during goal setting meetings, ask your employees what they want to earn for hitting their goals.
Oh, that's even beautiful.
Then help them win it.
Yeah.
That's employee recognition right
When
there.
employees succeed, the company succeeds, customers succeed. Yeah, it's just great.
Yeah.
Employee recognition it has to happen more, and it has to start from the top. It has to start with stand-up leaders stepping up and recognizing
Money,
employees.
time, vacation, prizes, time with family, promotion, or just showing your appreciation for a job well done.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that covers it. Employee recognition is an important skill that every stand-up leader should develop, and it's easy, and it's absolutely a positively changing thing that your employees will thank you for, and your company will become a desirable place to go to work.
I agree.
Hey, thanks for being with us today.